What is up guys, welcome to the channel. So E3 just ended last week, but today I'm bringing you my top 10 games shown at E3 that I look forward to. As a disclaimer, this is my opinion. There can be definitely other games on this list, and also to mention that some of the games may not have actual in-game footage yet, or there is still speculation about the gameplay or the game itself. So to begin, at number 10 we have Vampire. So in this game you take control of Jonathan, who has been turned into a vampire, but you have to keep feeding to survive until you reach your ultimate goal of curing yourself of this disease. What's interesting about this game is that it features a unique level up system where you only get XP by feeding on NPCs, but you can choose to kill innocent people or you can choose to kill bad people, and every decision to do so has a butterfly effect to the game's narrative and storyline. A lot of people are comparing this to Masquerade Bloodlines, as it gives off a similar vibe, but we'll have to wait and see if it even comes close to that level of game. However, there was some gameplay footage shown and there is combat. You can craft things like armor, weapons. It looks pretty cool. Hopefully the storyline and narrative is interesting enough to keep us immersed within the game. For number 9 though, we have For Honor. Now this is a new up and coming melee hack and slash game. The multiplayer was shown off earlier last year, but now we have a campaign. You can either play as Vikings, Samurais or Knights. The game is introducing a new mechanic where you can take one of 3 stances and either defend from a player or NPC's opposite stance or attack their openings, where they still have a chance to react and change to a counter stance. I think this game has potential, but the campaign could have an issue being repetitive as it looks very combat focused. So for me, I'm really interested in the multiplayer, but it does look pretty cool. For number 8, we have Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Now this game is set 2 years after the events of Human Revolution, so you are taking back the reins of Adam Jensen, the crazy and badass cybernetic hero. This time you're chasing the shadowy organization, the Illuminati, but this time they have started to control other augmented humans, turning them into violent psychopaths pretty much. So lots of footage and gameplay for this. I think that the game's gonna be great. If it stays like the first one or even better, improves on the first, then it's gonna be great. Stuff looks a lot better now and there are more upgrades and options to choose from. I look forward to it. The aesthetic as always, very orange but very cool. Can't wait to play as Jensen again. For number 7 we have Tekken VII. Now Tekken VII is already available in arcades, but it's coming to consoles and PC, so that's amazing because I don't have an arcade near me and I sure as hell won't go to one because they are expensive as shit here. But they are introducing new mechanics. There is now a rage art which allows you to deliver unblockable moves and deal 30% more damage, and it's even stronger if you use this whilst in rage mode. The second mechanic though is called Power Crush, which lets you carry on your attacks while still being hit. There's also now counters in the game, I believe, so this is a huge change for Tekken. And why I say this is because as someone who's played Tekken in arcade since the first one and since the third one up to the latest on consoles, it was always a game where your first couple of moves became very important because you're either able to juggle an enemy sometimes, taking away half their health if you're good at the game, and now you have a chance to stop attacks like that. So a lot of Tekken fans did not take it well, but at the same time I think it's going to make the game even more competitive and I guess balance it even more. But again, that's always been the fun of Tekken, to kick someone's ass because they couldn't parry or dodge your first few moves. Also Akuma from Street Fighter is in the game now for some reason, but I can't wait to couch game this and beat my friend's ass. It's not coming through the 360 or PS3, or it's not been announced for the old generation consoles, but it is coming to the new generation consoles as well as PC, so I look forward to that. And hopefully the PC port is good because Capcom ports have never been that great, let's be honest. For number 6 though, we have Resident Evil 7. So this game is a huge change for the franchise. It is now going to be a first-person puzzle horror game. If you're a PSN subscriber, you can play the teaser of the game. Now, just to mention, it is a teaser download, not a demo. So secrets and things that people have found are not yet unlockable because it's a teaser, which is just a short snippet of what's to come. So anyone who's going crazy and still trying to figure out what the dummy finger does, and you're not going to know or be able to progress with it until the actual demo is released. Now, we do not know the story of what's going on within the game. We know that Umbrella's involved but it's still a mystery, and the game looks like there's a mystery to solve anyway. A lot of people were upset with this change. I for one think Resident Evil needs a makeover. Since number 5 it's turned into an action game with a lot of QTEs, so I think going back to the horror roots and puzzles is great, since that's what the first games did. But we don't know if there still will be zombies, and I don't think there will. There is, however, still going to be combat and gunplay, but as said by the producer, it's not a game where you'll be going in guns blazing. There is going to be a Resident Evil 2 remake down the line, so if you're still mad about the change, then there's still a fan favorite remake to look forward to. I definitely can't wait for it. It gives off a Silent Hills PT vibe, and watching the teaser being played, the sounds and stuff going on in the house that you hear inside this game, it looks like everyone's gonna shit their pants. For number 5, we have Mafia 3. So this time you take control of a new character called Lincoln Clay, who is another war veteran and a member of New Orleans Black Mob. This game is set in 1968 Louisiana, 20 years after the second game, and it has a pretty big map. There's a total of 10 unique districts in this game. The game looks very pretty, and there's a lot of concerns for the gameplay actually, because it looks like it has very generic gunplay, but the attraction of Mafia games has always been the mob storyline and how it makes you connect with the characters and environments, which is why I love Mafia 2 so much and why it's on this list. But hopefully the developers take account into the criticism at E3 and can implement changes within the game until release. I sure hope that the game's narrative and storyline is as good as the previous iteration, but also some of the missions shown makes the game looks like it's going to be a blast to play. Now for number 4, we have Absolver, which I think is actually one of the biggest highlights of E3, just for how new and refreshing their concept is. So this game is taking a similar approach to Jedi Knight stances with combat. The game is all about dueling. You can create your own combat system with your favorite martial arts moves for your different stances by using the game's combat deck system that it has, and create your own combos that you can really easily customize in the game by just going to the pause menu. So you can have stuff like defensive stances with a lot of different moves, and other stances you can switch to on the fly that also has other moves that you can create. You can also create stances to counter other people's moves and their stances. So the customizations and plethora of abilities you can create is insane, which makes this actually pretty cool. And strategy is going to be a huge part in this game, as it's very focused on PvP, and I sure as hell look forward to more developments and use for this game, and as it's still mid stage to being anywhere near ready for release. For number 3 though, we have Prey. Now there really is no gameplay footage for this, however we did get a cool looking trailer and there was snippets of the types of gameplay to come. Now it is not Prey 2, as they are revitalizing the concept of what made the first game, so that's good. The first game was just a great immersive first person shooter with aliens and powers. So Pete Hines has stated that this game is not going to be a horror game, but it will have more elements of psychological horror, which was definitely one of the major buying points of the first game. Now it's not going to be an open world game, thank God, but you as a character find yourself on a space station and you're just trying to survive the alien onslaught, I guess. But there will be lots of player choice, and even though it's not open world, there will be lots of freedom to move around in the game. Pete Hines described it as more like a Dishonored approach to things with the game's freedom. Now I hope they're going to deliver on the hype, and even more so I look forward to what the combat and story is going to be like. For number 2 though, we have Detroit Become Human. Now this is a Quantic Dream game. They are the people responsible for creating Heavy Rain, but the game's gameplay is going to be very similar to that, but now you take on the role of a character called Connor, who's an android that deals with other crazy androids, because this game looks like it wants to focus on the values of humanity. So these androids do have feelings but are slaves to humans, so it looks interesting and definitely gives off a Blade Runner vibe. The graphics also looks really great, just look at the rain, and this is how the game's going to look like on release, hopefully. So the game will focus on puzzle solving elements and a lot of player choice, and how it will butterfly affect the game's storyline. That's still going to be in the game, just like Heavy Rain. So lots of dialogue options, clues collecting and trying to solve things by yourself. Looks amazing, and I can't wait to steal someone's PS4 and play it. But for number 1, the top spot, especially as a fan of his work, we have Death Stranding. Hideo Kojima's new game. So this game is going to be an action game just like Metal Gear, but it's not a Silent Hill substitute as stated by the man Kojima Senpai himself. So it looks like Norman Reedus is going to be the main character in this game, as apparent by him being in the trailer, and with his glorious beauty also being in the trailer. The trailer does look insane. It's very artsy. There's lots of speculation as to what's happening in the trailer, but the main theory people are coming up with is that it's kind of representing how Kojima had Metal Gear ripped away from him and his creative freedom taken away by Konami. So people are saying that the baby represents Metal Gear, as the baby is attached to Reedus with an umbilical cord, so that's like what Kojima gave birth to, which is Metal Gear, but it was taken away from him by force, to which he now carries a scar to. Norman Reedus and Kojima also took shots at Konami on Reedus' Instagram with this picture, which shows Kojima sipping from a cup that has Konami tears written on it. There's still lots of theories for the trailer. There's also some crazy equation on Reedus' dog tags that people have solved and are talking about, but the game is definitely going to be crazy just because now Kojima's not being held back creatively, so he can go all out and give us something crazy. I definitely look forward to it, and you should too. But that's it for the end of the video, guys. Let me know what games you look forward to. Does it have to be shown on E3, and why you look forward to it? Make sure to sum this video up if you enjoyed, but as always guys, I shall see you on the next video. Peace out, guys.